there, readers. Welcome to day 1 of our lesson. We'll start out today with talking about our new concept. Then, after that, we'll do some phonemic awareness practice, practice our visual drills, do our auditory drill, and we'll finish up with our blending drill.
Phonics connects sounds and symbols, unlocking code increasingly nimble, like wings for words. It'll lift you high with every sound. You soar, you fly.
So let's get started with our new concept. Hello, readers, and hello, all my letters here. Well, not all my letters, but all of my certain type of letter. What type of letter do we have over here? Well, a lot of them are red, that's true, but we have consonants? No, these are vowels. We have all the vowels that we've been talking about. We have our A, our I, our O, our U, and our E, and they're in the order that we've talked about them so far. When we see these letters in the alphabet, we see them in order of A, E, I, O, and U. But we can talk about all these letters because we know a lot about them. Let's sign them. The short A sound is A, and we can sign the letter A. A, A, A. The short I sound is I, and let's sign the I, I. The short O sound is A, and we can sign A, A, A. The short U sound is and the short E sound is and we can sign e. We can hear the short A sound in the beginning of words like astronaut and apple. Astronaut, apple. Sometimes we hear the short A sound in the beginning of words, like the blue word ask and the teal word at. Sometimes we hear the short A in the middle of longer words, like the blue word blast and the green word grasp. Let's sound out that top word. Blast. Sometimes the short A makes a nasalized A sound when it comes before the letter M or before the letter N. We hear that nasalized A sound in the word jam or the word ants. We also hear it in the name Andrea. We hear that nasalized A sound in lots of words, including the word lamp or the word plant. Let's sound out that word plant. That's that teal word down at the bottom. Plant. We can hear that short I sound in the beginning of the word inchworm. Inchworm. We also hear it in the beginning of the word itch. Itch. Sometimes the short I comes in the beginning of words, like the words in and the word if. And sometimes we see the short I in the middle of words, like that blue word at the top, sprint, or the teal word at the bottom, twist. Let's sound out twist together. Twist. We can hear the short O sound, the ah sound in the beginning of the word otter, otter, and the beginning of the word octopus, octopus. Sometimes the short O comes in the beginning of words, like in the beginning of the word on and the beginning of the word off. Sometimes the short O comes in the middle of longer words, like in the middle of the word stomp or the middle of the word frost. Let's sound out frost together. Frost. We can hear the short U sound in the beginning of the word umbrella, umbrella. We also can hear it in the beginning of the word up, up. Sometimes we see that short U in the beginning of words, like in the beginning of the word up and the beginning of the word us. And sometimes we see the short U inside longer words, like the blue word that says slump and the teal word that says scrub. Let's sound out scrub together. Scrub. Scrub. And that would be like scrubbing with a bar of soap. We can hear that short E sound in the beginning of the word elephant, elephant, and the beginning of the word elf, elf, elf. Sometimes we see the short E in the beginning of words, like in the beginning of the word end and the beginning of the word epi, like an EpiPen that someone might have to carry around if they're allergic to something. Epi. We also sometimes see that short E in longer words, like the blue word up top that says blend and the teal word down here that says swept. Let's sound out swept together. Swept. Swept. To make the short A sound, the a sound, you're going to open your mouth wide, like in the picture, and be sure to turn your voice on. Your vocal cords will be buzzing, so you'll feel that buzzing in your throat. Like all of our vowels, the short A sound is a continuous sound, which means we can stretch it. The nasalized A sound is a lot like that short A sound, except we're not just pushing that air through our mouth, we're also pushing it through our nose. So you can really feel it if you say am. Am. And now imagine saying am and taking off the am. When we say the short I sound, our mouth is much more closed than when we're doing the short A. We are having some tension in the side of our cheeks right there in the corners of our mouth. And we can say I. When we say the I sound, we have our tongue in the middle of our mouth and we can feel our vocal cords buzzing. I. The short O sound or the ah sound is our widest sound. Our chin is much farther down than it was with our I, and our mouth looks a lot like the letter O. Ah. So to make the sound, we open our mouth wide into an O shape and drop our chin and turn our voice on. Ah. Now can we stretch it together? Ah. When we say the short U sound, our mouth is more closed than it is with the ah. It's more up like this, To make it, it's helpful to put your hands on your belly and imagine you being pushed in the tummy just a little bit when you say It's that sound that you hear in the short U sound. Remember, it also sounds a little bit like a questioning sound. Like if you don't know the answer to something and you say, if you're saying, that's the perfect short U sound. And then when we say the short E or the sound, we have a little smile with our mouth happening. It's like a big open mouth smile, not too big. You can take your fingers and put them in the corner of your mouth gently so you feel that little bit of tension happening with those muscles there. And you have your tongue in the middle of your mouth saying Can you try it? Can you stretch it? Excellent. Check out our Vowel Valley. These are all of the short vowel sounds that we've been reviewing and practicing so far. You can see how much we've learned and all the different ways our mouth changes as we make these vowel sounds. Let's do all of our vowels in alphabetical order. So we're going to start with our uppercase A. Start at the top, do a slanted line down to the bottom, back up to the top, slanted line down to the bottom, and connect those two lines across. Doing an uppercase E, A-E, we do a horizontal or a vertical line down to the bottom, hop to the top, over, middle over, bottom over, A-E. I is a straight line, top to the bottom, hop to the top, line across, hop to the bottom, line across. Then O, we have our big egg, down, around, back up to the top. And our U is like a roller coaster. We start at the top, go down, 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 start to curve at the bottom, back up, and hit the top. And that's how we do all of our uppercase letters. Let's do our lowercase. To do our lowercase A, we are going to do a curve, 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 come back up, tail to the bottom. To do our lowercase E, we do a horizontal line over, curve around, and come back up. To do our lowercase I, we do a straight line with that cute little dot. To do our lowercase O, we just do a smaller little egg under that middle line to the bottom. And to do our lowercase u, we just have a smaller roller coaster ride straight back up and tail to the bottom. This is how we make all of our vowels. It's time now to head over to see Blenda and Siggy for our phonemic awareness practice.
It's time to blend some phonemes with Blenda, the blender bot. Please blend each sound that I tell you. Then say the words you got. Then say the words you got. It's time to blend some phonemes.
Hi, Blenda. Are you ready for us to practice some phonemic awareness? Okay. Your first phonemes that we're going to be tapping on our fingers, your first phoneme is t, ah, p, s. Let's do it together. T, ah, p, s. Blend. Tops. Tops. Yes. Everyone tap the tops of your head. Tops, tops, tops. The next word is s. N. Let's do it together. S, p, n. Blend. Spin. Spin. Beautiful. Spin your finger around. There you go. Did you understand spin? Excellent. And the next one is j, a, s, t. Let's do it together. J, a, s, t. Blend. Just. Just. Just in the nick of time, we got that one. Do we have time for one more? We do. The next word and last word we're going to do is l, e, f, t. All right, do it again. L, e, f, t. Blend. Left. Left. You have a left hand and a right hand. All right. Did you understand all of our blending? Oh, I'm so glad. All right, thank you for your help. Let's go see Siggy.
Hey there, Siggy. How you doing today? You're an expert segmenter and you love to play. Miss Gardner, tell us a word and let's all listen close. Then we'll say each phoneme our practice really shows. Hey!
Hey there, Siggy. Are you ready for us? Great. Let's practice some phonemic awareness with segmenting out our sounds. So the first word we are going to imagine this noodle is the word lots. Lots. Like I have lots of ways to practice sounds. Lots. So let's stretch it. Lots. Lots. L, a, t, s. L, a, t, s. I hear 4 sounds. Snap it back. Lots. Now let's tap them. L, a, t, s. Lots. There were 4 sounds in lots and we heard them all. The next word that we're going to imagine is the word slip. 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 I heard slip. Slip. 4 phonemes in the word slip. And you heard them too? Excellent. Our third word we're going to do is the word rust. Rust. Stretch it. Rust. Rust. R-u-s-t. Rust. Rust. I again heard 4 phonemes. R-u-s-t. Rust. Yes, we always have to be careful not to have rust in the garden because we don't want it getting in our vegetables. And then finally, the word is step. Step. Let's stretch it. Step. 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 I heard 4 phonemes. Snap it back. Step. What were those phonemes? Ready? Step. There were 4 phonemes. Did you understand them all? You did. I'm so proud of you all. You are doing such an amazing job with all this practice. All right, let's continue on our path. Thank you so much, Siggy. Let's go do some visual drill practice.
All right, readers. Now it's time for our visual drill practice. When you see the letter pop up, I want you to tell me what sound that letter spells. For example, if you see the letter B pop up, you would say B spells B. Are you ready? Let's fly.
This is the letter O. And what does the letter O spell? The letter O spells ah. The letter O spells ah, like in the beginning of the word otter. This is the letter I. And what does the letter I spell? The letter I spells I. The letter I spells I, like in the beginning of the word inchworm. This is the letter A. And what does the letter A spell? The letter A spells ah. The letter A spells ah, like in the beginning of the word astronaut. This is the letter M. M. And what does the letter M spell? The letter M spells mm. The letter M spells like in the beginning of the word moon. This is the letter S. And what does the letter S spell? The letter S spells S. The letter S spells S, like in the beginning of the word snake. This is also the letter S. And the letter S also spells, the letter S also spells Z. The letter S also spells Z, like in the word music. Music. This is the letter T. And what does the letter T spell? The letter T spells T. The letter T spells T, like in the beginning of the word turtle. This is the letter P. And what does the letter P spell? The letter P spells P. The letter P spells like in the beginning of the word penguin. This is the letter F. And what does the letter F spell? The letter F spells F. The letter F spells F, like in the beginning of the word feather. Feather. This is the letter N. And what does the letter N spell? The letter N spells N. The letter N spells N, like in the beginning of the word nest. This is the letter D. What does the letter D spell? The letter D spells D. The letter D spells D, like in the beginning of the word duck. This is the letter C. And what does the letter C spell? The letter C spells K. The letter C spells K, like in the beginning of the word cat. This is the letter G. And what does the letter G spell? The letter G spells G. The letter G spells G, like in the beginning of the word goat. This is the letter B. And what does the letter B spell? The letter B spells B. The letter B spells B, like in the beginning of the word ball. This is the letter K. And what does the letter K spell? The letter K spells K. The letter K spells K, like in the beginning of the word key. This is the letter H. And what does the letter H spell? The letter H spells H. The letter H spells H, like in the beginning of the word hat. This is the letter R. And what does the letter R spell? The letter R spells The letter R spells like in the beginning of the word rainbow. This is the letter L. And what does the letter L spell? The letter L spells ul. The letter L spells ul, like in the beginning of the word lion. This is the letter W. And what does the letter W spell? The letter W spells w. The letter W spells w, like in the beginning of the word water. This is the letter J. And what does the letter J spell? The letter J spells j. The letter J spells j, like in the beginning of the word jellyfish. This is the letter Y. What does the letter Y spell? The letter Y spells y, like in the beginning of the word yarn. This is the letter X. What does the letter X spell? The letter X spells x, x. The letter X spells x, like in the word fox. These are the letters Q and U. What do the letters Q and U spell when they're together? Qua, qua. The letters Q and U spell qu, like in the word queen. This is the letter V. What does the letter V spell? V spells V. V spells V, like in the word violin. This is the letter Z. What does Z spell? Z spells Z. Z spells Z, like in the word zebra. It's time now for our auditory drill.
All right, readers, now it's time for our auditory drill practice. Make sure you have something to write with and that your writing surface is all set up. Mrs. Gardner is going to say a sound. Listen super carefully, and then I'd like you to write the letter that spells that sound. For example, if Mrs. Gardner says, then you're going to write the letter M. Got it? Are you ready? Let's get started.
Please write the letter that makes the sound ah. Please write the letter that makes the sound ah. This is how we write the letter O. Starting at the top, you're going to do a curve all the way around, cross that middle point down to the bottom, and do the same curve all the way back up towards the top, making a beautiful almost circle. When I say almost, I mean that it's not a perfect circle, but the line does connect all the way around. And so to trace that, we start at the top, curve down and around to the bottom, back up, and meeting up with it at the top. That is how we make our letter O. Please write the letter that makes the sound I. Please write the letter that makes the sound I. To write the letter I, you're going to start at the top line and do a vertical line straight down to the bottom. Then you hop back up to the top and you'll do a horizontal line across the top. Hop to the bottom and do a little horizontal line across the bottom. Let's trace it together in the air. Hop to the top, do a straight line down to the bottom. Hop back up to the top, do a horizontal line across. Hop to the bottom, do a horizontal line across the bottom. And that's our letter I. Great job. Please write the letter that makes the sound ah. Please write the letter that makes the sound ah. To write the letter A, you're going to start at the top and do a slanted line all the way down to the bottom. Then hop back up to the top, do another slanted line, this time in the opposite direction, again towards the bottom. Then you're going to hop back to the middle area and do a horizontal line connecting those two lines. Let's do it together in the air. We're going to hop to the top, do a slanted line down to the bottom. Hop back up to the top, do a slanted line down to the bottom. Hop towards the middle and do a horizontal line connecting those two lines. And that is how you write and trace the letter A. Please write the letter that makes the sound K. Please write the letter that makes the sound K. To write the letter K, you're going to hop to the top line and do a vertical line straight down to the bottom. Then you're going to hop back up to the top and do a slanted line to the middle line, connecting with that first line. Then from that middle line, you're going to do another slanted line, but this one down to the bottom. Now let's trace it in the air together. We're going to hop to the top, do a straight line down to the bottom. Hop back up to the top, do a slanted line to the middle, and then hop from the middle down to the bottom. That is how you write the letter K. Please write the letter that makes the sound K. Please write the letter that makes the sound K. Let's write the letter C. We're going to start almost at the top line and do a curve from that top spot, almost at that top spot, all the way around towards the bottom and curving up just a little bit. All right, now let's trace it together in the air. Starting almost at the top, we're going to curve around, down towards the middle, towards the bottom, curving back up and stopping. So we're almost making a circle, but not quite. And that is how you write and trace the letter C. Please write the letter that makes the sound R. Please write the letter that makes the sound R. To write the letter R, you're going to start at the top line and do a vertical line down to the bottom. Then you're going to hop back up to the top and do a curve all the way back across the middle. Then when you're at that middle, you're going to do a slanted line down to the bottom. Now let's trace it in the air together. We're going to do a straight line from the top all the way down to the bottom. When we're at the bottom, we're hopping back up to the top and doing a curve to the middle. Once we're at that middle, we will do a slanted line down to the bottom. And that is how we write the letter R. Please write the letter that makes the sound L. Please write the letter that makes the sound L. To write the letter L, you're going to hop up to the top line and do a vertical line straight down to the bottom. When you're at the bottom, you're going to do another line, this time a horizontal line across the bottom. That is how you write a letter L. Let's trace it together. We're going to hop to the top, do a straight line down to the bottom, and do a horizontal line across the bottom. And that's how we write and trace the letter L. Please write the letter that makes the sound W. Please write the letter that makes the sound W. This is how you write the letter W. You're going to start at the top line and do a slanted line down to the bottom. Then from the bottom, you're going to do a slanted line back up to the top. When you're at the top, you're going to do a slanted line back down to the bottom. And when you're at the bottom, you'll do a slanted line back up to the top. Let's trace the letter W in the air together. So starting at the top, we're going to do a slanted line down to the bottom. From the bottom, we'll do a slanted line back up to the top. From the top, we'll do the slanted line back down to the bottom. And from the bottom, we'll do a slanted line back up to the top. And that is how you do the very fun letter W. Please write the letter that makes the sound J. Please write the letter that makes the sound J. To write the letter J, you're going to go to the top line and do a candy cane shape. So you're going to go from the top straight down to the bottom and then curve back up just a bit. Then you're going to hop back up to that top line and do a straight line across that top line. So you end up with a straight horizontal line, excuse me. Let's trace that one together in the air. Let's do a J. So we're going to hop to the top, do a candy cane shape down and curving back up. Then we're going to hop back up to the top and do a horizontal line across that straight line that we just drew. And that is how you write and trace the letter J. Please write the letter that makes the sound Y. Please write the letter that makes the sound Y. To write the letter Y, you're going to start at the top line and do a slanted line down to the middle. Then you're going to hop back up to the top line and do another slanted line down to the middle. When you're at that middle spot, you're going to do a straight line down to the bottom, a straight vertical line. Now let's trace the letter Y in the air together. Hopping to the top, we're going to do a slanted line to the middle, hop back up to the top, do a slanted line to the middle, and then do a vertical line from the middle to the bottom. That's how you write and trace the letter Y. Please write the letter that makes the sound X. Please write the letter that makes the sound X. This is how you write the letter X. You start at the top line and you do a slanted line down to the bottom. Then you hop back up to the top and do a slanted line the other way back down to the bottom. To trace the letter X, we're going to do the same thing in the air together. Let's hop to the top, do a slanted line down to the bottom, hop back up to the top, slanted line down to the bottom. That is how you write and trace the letter X. Please write the letter that makes the sound Q. To make the letter Q, you are going to start at the very top and do a circle all the way down to the bottom and coming back up to the top. And then you are going to hop to the middle and do a slanted line from the middle down to the bottom. That's how you write the letter Q. Now let's trace the letter Q in the air together. We're going to start at the top, do a curve down to the bottom, then do a curve back up to the top, making a circle. We're going to jump down to the middle and do a slanted line from the middle down to the bottom. That's how we write the letter Q. Please write the letter that makes the sound V. Please write the letter that makes the sound V. This is how you write the letter V. You start at the top, do a slanted line down to the bottom. Then from that bottom, you do a slanted line back up to the top. Now let's trace that letter in the air. Let's do a V together. Starting at the top, do a slanted line down to the bottom. Stopping at the bottom, do a slanted line back up to the top. That's how you write the letter V. Please write the letter that makes the sound Z. Write the letter that makes the sound Z. This is how you write the letter Z. You do one horizontal line across the top of your page, then you do a slanted line from the top down to the bottom line, and then you do a third line, which is another horizontal line across at the bottom. All right, now let's trace that letter in the air together. We're going to do a line across, slanted line down to the bottom, and another line across. That's how you write the letter Z. Let's finish up with our blending drill. All right, let's see what we're working with. We've got a lot of letters on our board. In our initial section, we have L, P, and R as our individual letters, but then look at all these blends. We have SL, SL, SP, SP, CL, CL, GL, GL, and PL, PL. Then in our medial area, we have A, E, A, and in our final, G, D, P, T. And we have an S for an additional option to make things multiple. So here we go. Let's start out making the word spots. Sp, A, T, Spots. Spots. There are spots all over my clothes. I need to wash them. Okay, if we take off the sp and instead put a p, we have pots. Pots. Now, I want to change pots to rots. Rots. So I'm going to take off my p and add an R. The word becomes rots. What happens if we take off that O and put an A there? We have rats. Oh my gosh, there's lots of rats. Some people love rats. I am not one of those people. I do think they're cute from a distance, but no thank you if they're close to me. Rats. Now, if we take off that T and add a G, the word is rags. Rags. You can hear the S is making a Z sound at the end of rags. Let's take off that S. What do we have now? Rag. Rag. Let's change rag to lag. I will bring up my L and I get lag. Now, if I want to scoot everything over just one there, and I want to bring up, oh, I need to grab it. Oop, hang on. Whoops, I forgot an option, my FL or fl. So let's put that there. We have flag, flag. So if we take off that G and put a P, what's the word now? The word is flap, flap. Let's take off our FL and put a CL there. And now we have clap, 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 clap. And if we take off the CL and put an L in the beginning, now we have lap, like I am running laps around the school. I ran one lap. Lap can become lip if we bring our I up there. Lip, lip. Now if I bring up my SL, what do I have now? It becomes slip, slip. So if I take off the P and bring a D up, I get slid, slid. And I'd like to change slid to slit, slit. So I'll bring up my T, slit. You can cut a slit in your paper with some scissors. And if I take off the sl and bring up the sp, now I have the word spit, spit. And if I add an S, I get spits. Oh no, you're not supposed to be, there should be no spits. No, he was told not to, but he spits outside anyway. That would be a sentence. All right, let's take off that. We have spit. Now we'll take that beginning off. We have it. We have I. And we are all set for another day. And wow, that was a lot of initial options.
With every sound you soar, you fly.